Hey guys, it's Lynn Van Nui and I'm just on my way home from work. It's about 7:30 at night. I worked from 9 this morning and I just got off work and I'm heading home. I just kind of wanted to address some things. I know I kind of mentioned in my Sunday video that over the weekend I was hitting a low in my depression and there was just a lot going on, which is why my video was up later in the day. So I just wanted to kind of have like a friendly chat with you guys about that. Not that I feel that I owe you guys any sort of explanation or anything. I just feel like it's something that should be more openly talked about with regards to depression and anxiety and PTSD. As some of you may know, I actually talked about it in my Sunday video, and I've talked about it before in other videos, just kind of like in passing, that I personally have PTSD, generalized anxiety disorder, and depression. Basically, a little bit of it comes from genetics. You know, my mom suffers from a lot of the same things. The majority of it actually stems from a trauma I have been through in my past. I also have mentioned this before in some of my videos, but I was in a very abusive relationship for, well, I was in a 3-year-long relationship, and the last year and a half was highly abusive. It was sexually abusive, physically abusive, and mentally abusive. I have thought about potentially making videos going into depth on this topic and sort of discussing my past trauma as a way to not only help myself, but hopefully help others who have been through the same type of situation. But anyway, this is kind of veering off topic. So basically, as a result of being in an abusive relationship, I suffer from anxiety, PTSD, and depression. So over the weekend, I was nearing a low in my depression. Sometimes, like, there's no rhyme or reason behind it. I just hit a low and there's no explanation for it. So at this particular time, I could tell I was starting to hit a low, and I was also PMSing. Those two things combined are just generally not good. But on top of that, my living situation at home has not been the best. It's been very high stress, high tension, and it's nobody's fault. It's just kind of like, it sucks for everybody involved, but there's 8 of us living under a roof, so obviously things are gonna get rough sometimes, and that's not anybody's fault. But these 3 things combined, I ended up snapping over the weekend on my best friend who lives with me, and basically what happened was I was doing something that she didn't really agree with, and she made a joke about it, and at the time I didn't really feel the way that she said it was in a joking tone. So I had just gone outside to have a smoke, try to like cool off, chill out, and then my husband kind of came out and told me something else, and I just snapped. I snapped. It was really bad. So basically I threw a fit, and I ended up throwing stuff on the floor very aggressively at my best friend's feet in sort of a threatening manner, and it just caused a lot of problems. I had to take some sedatives, and her and I stayed up till 2 in the morning hashing all of our problems out. Everything from back until high school, we stayed up to try and hash everything out that we possibly could think of so that we could go forward with a clean slate. So, and that happened on Friday night, and Friday is usually my filming day, and because I could tell that I was starting to hit a low, and because I was PMSing, I was just really not in the mood to film on Friday. And then Friday night happened when I had my major meltdown, and then Saturday I had to work, And then Saturday after work, I was so exhausted. I was groggy from taking my sedatives. I had been up late the previous night and worked early in the morning, so I came home and I slept basically all day. And by the time I woke up again, it was too dark for me to film. So when I woke up Sunday morning, I kind of started my day off slow, and I was kind of hemming and hawing about whether I wanted to film a video this Sunday, and I thought, no, I need to keep on schedule, I need to do it. So I ended up filming on Sunday, basically at the same time when my video should have been uploaded already, but I got it done. So I just kind of wanted to tell you guys about why my video was up late, and I wanted to talk about these things that happen in my life, because I think that it's important to talk about mental health issues, and I think it shouldn't be so stigmatized, and we should feel okay to be able to talk about these sort of things. Oh my god, I love when people just hit the brakes in front of me, like, okay, cool, this is my life, this is what I deal with, and the person you see on camera, like, I would say probably 8 times out of 10 is me. I'm genuinely a pretty happy-go-lucky person, but sometimes I would say like 2 times out of 10 I'm faking it, and I'm acting happier than I am because I suffer with anxiety, depression, and PTSD. I just want to let anyone out there know that you can always talk to me if you're someone who suffers from these problems or any other mental health issues. If you need someone to talk to, feel free to add me on Snapchat, follow me on Twitter, whatever, DM me. I'm always available to talk to somebody who needs someone to talk to. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take my wrist brace off because I want to show you guys something. This is something I usually wouldn't talk about, I wouldn't bring up, for the mere fact that I wouldn't want people to think that I was talking about it for attention, because I'm not. And the fact of the matter is, I might not even use this footage because of that issue. I feel like what I'm about to talk about and what I'm about to show you guys, a lot of people won't understand, and a lot of people will say, oh, you're just doing it for attention, but I'm not. So on Friday night, in the middle of my tantrum, my mental lapse, my meltdown, my breakdown, I took my pocket knife to my wrist, and this has been a problem that I've had since I was a teen. I always self-harmed as a teen, and it wasn't necessarily it definitely wasn't to get attention, but it wasn't necessarily to try and kill myself either. I think it was just that I was trying to do it as a way of distracting myself from how I felt, that if I could focus my feelings on physical pain rather than emotional and mental pain, that I could cope better, if that makes any sense. Throughout the years in my late teens, I struggled on and off with cutting. I go through long periods of time where I don't self-harm. It can be years, and when I have a breakdown so bad as I did on Friday night, I revert back to my teenage self, and I'm not thinking clearly, and I just, it's like a relapse. It's like nothing else matters. I don't see anything except what is in front of me, and I have tunnel vision towards what I want to do, and in that particular moment it's to self-harm, because it's me wanting to focus my pain on a physical pain versus an emotional or a mental pain. So I just want to talk about the fact that I have self-harmed, and I continue to self-harm when I hit really bad lows, and I just want to raise awareness to the fact that people who self-harm aren't looking for attention. I mean, I'm sure some people are looking for attention, but I would say a vast majority of people who self-harm aren't, and I'm willing to bet that a lot of people self-harm without you even realizing it, because usually people who self-harm don't want anybody to know that they've self-harmed. After the fact, we tend to feel, or I personally tend to feel, really stupid and really embarrassed and really hot, because I had to fucking work since Saturday wearing sweaters when I wasn't even cold, because I have these stupid cuts on my wrists. I do these things and I have tunnel vision to self-harm, and then after I regret it because then I don't want anybody to know that I've self-harmed. So I have to go to stupid lengths to hide the fact. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that if you self-harm, I totally understand. I totally get where you're coming from. Please don't self-harm. I mean, I wish I could give myself that advice. I mean, I go years without self-harming and then all of a sudden I just go back to it. So it was basically just a way for me to refocus what I was feeling. I just wanted to take some time out of my day to talk about mental health issues and show people that it's okay to discuss it, because a lot of people go through these things and I don't want anybody to feel alone. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, hit subscribe and be my friend. We can talk about mental illness and end the stigma together. And until next time, keep shining. Bye guys.